Hello, I am Kayla Eldridge, and I am going to walk you through my timeline of becoming a leader in education. So, in January of 2012, I started working at Rainbows United as an IFSP coach. So, what I did was went into parents' home and helped kids that were developmentally delayed to be able to coordinate services for occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech, audiology, and teaching. And we brought it all together with an in-house coaching model where we did all the services in the home for kids. So started out with infant and toddlers in January of 2012. Then I moved on. I did things kind of in reverse, and that I started my job in January, and then I completed my degree in May of that same year. That position at Rainbows happened to come available, and so I did all my paperwork so that I could get started in the position before I officially graduated in May. I then worked for Rainbows for a few years, and in August of 2016, I started working at Derby USD 260 as an educational audiologist, at which time my focus shifted from the coaching model into the educational model that we use in the school system. Still an audiologist, but still working with all the related service providers and things with special education, just in a different role with the school district. And then at that time, I started working with kids from 3 to 21. About a year later, I became involved with our DNEA, or our Derby Education Association, and I started getting involved in more and more committees, as the time went on. So first year I needed to kind of get my ground around me and figure out what it was that I was doing, and then that second year in the district, I started doing some committee work within the district. From there, in April of 2011, we were experiencing what was to be our fourth director change. So I decided to start looking into what it would look like for me to become an assistant director. In October of 2021, I interviewed for the assistant special education director. And at that time, I was informed by Human Resources that in order to do that position, I needed to have my leadership certificate first. So I started looking at what that would look like for me to get my leadership certificate. So I think the first time I contacted Fort Hays was like November of 2021. So I just started researching, talking to the state, because I don't have the traditional path of being an educator, being a teacher in the classroom, and then going into leadership for education. I'm an audiologist who's going into education leadership. So that's a little bit different pathway than most people take. So I do have a different mind, just a little bit different on kind of how things are set up for me. I come from a little bit different than in the classroom teaching every day. But I still have been working with students and am considered an educator. So in the summer of 2022, I began my classes for my leadership certificate, and I started out with my 856 class with Doc Moody, and then I moved on to my 850 class. Then I also took classes in the fall of 2022. I took 853 and 854, and then I took 852 as an intercession class. And now in January of 2023, I am continuing my classes with 851 as well as doing my 879. And I just got access to everything, so I have started my e-portfolio now. I will be finished with my e-portfolio, and I've got my appointments scheduled for April so that I can get my e-portfolio turned in. And also I will be scheduling to take my praxis probably in April or in May. Then in the future, I don't have a date on here because I don't know exactly when that's going to take place, but I would like to end up as a special education director. And at some point, hopefully when I'm about 65, I will be eligible to retire. That kind of depends on insurance and all those things. I'm always looking forward to that. and trying to plan for that because I am a planner, but I don't know exactly what that's going to look like for me either, as I certainly 10 years ago didn't think that this is the position that I'd be in now. So my life has kind of meandered and winded as it goes, but I feel like I've been put where I'm supposed to be, and I'm excited to see what my future holds. Thanks. Have a great night.